Carver Arena, Warrensburg Latham taking on Nokomis. The winner takes on St. Anne in tomorrow's first ever 1A state championship here in Peoria. I'm Lee Hall. Let's throw it over to our announcers for today's second 1A semifinal. It's Kurt Pegler and Cal Hubbard.
All right, Lee, thank you, and welcome back to Carver Arena. We know that St. Anne is already in. We'll find out who the other state finalist is. It'll either be Nokomis or it'll be Warrensburg Latham. Coach, a couple of teams that love the ball press, right?
They both play the ball press, and how each one of them handles it is going to be a key.
Let's take a look at how both these teams made their way to the Final Four here in Peoria. We'll start with the Nokomis Redskins at 29-5, winners of the regional championship over Altamont, the host school. Then in the sectionals, beat Woodlawn and Dietrich to win their own Nokomis sectional, and then beat Oakville in the Southern Illinois University Super Sectional earlier this week. Warrensburg Latham, the Cardinals of 31-1, defeated Hayworth to win their own regional title. Then in a very difficult Mackinac sectional, beat Tremont and Putnam County before taking out Fisher in the Super Sectional on Tuesday night against Illinois State University. A couple of key players that we'll highlight: Steve Kimber.
Good afternoon, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association and the City of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness. This Class 1A semifinal game for 2008 features the Nokomis Redskins, 29-5, and the Warrensburg Latham Cardinals, 31-1. Let's meet the teams for the semifinal contest. For Nokomis, the non-starters: a 5'11" sophomore, 00, Jordan Pisco. 6' senior, 4, Del Wood. 5'11" junior, 5, Lucas Giacchino. A 5'9" junior, 12, Seth Bowers. 6' senior, 20, Chris Brady. 6'1" junior, 22, Shane Stotler. A 5'11" sophomore, 30, Dylan Goldsmith. A 6'1" junior, 32, Lucas Wright. Now let's meet the Cardinals of Warrensburg Latham. 00, 5'9" junior, Cameron Warnsley. 5'8" sophomore, 4, Justin Berg. 5'8" junior, 14, Kirk Nieberg. 6'3" junior, 20, Brock Fisher. 6' senior, 22, Zach Culp. 6'3" junior, 32, Alex Beery. A 5'10" junior, 42, Jared Offenbaugh. 6'3" junior, 52, Jacob Huggins. A 6' sophomore, 54, Bryce Matthews. Now let's meet the starting lineups for the semifinal game. For Nokomis, a 5'10" junior guard, number 10, Troy Kimbrough. The other guard, a 5'8" senior, number 10, Luke Butch for Warrensburg Latham. For the Redskins, a 6'1" senior, a guard, 14, Austin Bertolino. The other guard for the Cardinals, 6'1" junior, 12, Dominique Warnsley. At center for Nokomis, a 6'4" junior, 34, John Sheep. At center for Warrensburg Latham, the 6'5 senior, 50, Adam Wright. At a forward for the Redskins, a 6'5 senior, 24, Jared Spears. At a forward for the Cardinals, a 6'2 senior, 24, Zach Boyd. The other forward for Nokomis, a 6'3 senior, 41, Wade Kimbrough. The other forward for Warrensburg Latham, a 6'1 junior, 34, CJ Yeakley. Head coach for Nokomis in 27 years in the school, a record of 560 and 200, Steve Kimbrough. Assistant coaches Brian Pisco, Dan Clavin, and Phil Schneider. Head coach for Warrensburg Latham, 28 years in coaching, 22 at Warrensburg Latham, a record of 384 and 231. Vic Binkley. Assistant coaches Paul Hoffman and Travis White. As the players and coaches wish each other good luck at half court, the IHSA Board of Directors and member schools expect and promote good sportsmanship by all athletes, coaches, students, parents, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. Do what's right. Thank you. No other state in America can claim the rich history and tradition that's been generated by March Madness in Illinois. It's America's original March Madness. Direct your attention to the arena floor and meet the officials for this game. The referee from Murfreesboro, Mike Austin. From Cobden, Dana Pearson. And from Nashville, John Salee. Presenting the game ball for this semifinal game will be Brent Lontine, President, the Peoria Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, one of the sponsors of the March Madness experience. All of us thank the Peoria Area Convention and Visitors Bureau for their contribution to the greatest high school single event in the land.
As the players come back out on the floor, we remind you that Walgreens is a proud sponsor of this IHSA broadcast and the IHSA's Do What's Right sportsmanship program. 31-1 Warrensburg Latham, the Cardinals coached by Vic Binkley. 29-5 the Nokomis Redskins coached by Steve Kimbrough. A couple of coaches have been around a long time.
And both play similar styles on the defensive end.
The Cardinals of Warrensburg Latham in their home whites with red trim. Nokomis, the Redskins in their black trim and black uniforms with red trim, and we are underway. The Cardinals have the first possession of this basketball game. Class 1A state semifinal. The winner of this one plays for the state title tomorrow against St. Anne. Here's Butts. Now it's Boyd, 24. In the corner, Dominic Warnsley, the miss. Offensive rebound. It's CJ Yeakley who shoots it back in.
Always good to have an offensive putback.
And now the pressure. And Nokomis snaps it relatively easily. Reverse layup that time is missed by John Cheek, and we've got a foul.
One of the hardest things to cover against the ball press is the middle of the floor. And on the first possession, Nokomis got the ball into the middle and caused problems and picked up the foul. Forced the foul.
I guess there was no foul on that, just the ball out of bounds. So Nokomis will have possession.
Must have been a tied ball, jump ball.
It'll be the post play inside of Nokomis against the great guard play of the Cardinals, and we've got a whistle this time that we do have a foul at the top of the circle, and that's going to be on Luke Butts, the senior guard, is first, in the first of the game. Well, the Redskins, we talked about a team, Steve Kimbrough was just so excited when we talked with him yesterday. As long as he's been coaching, never been to the Final Four and guaranteed to bring back a state trophy. And that's exciting news for the folks in Nokomis. And they have a nice crowd here, as do the folks from Warrensburg Latham as well.
Quite a thrill for any kid to get a chance to play here. But it's especially a thrill for a coach who's worked so hard for so long.
A couple of offensive rebounds, and Nokomis has another chance to attack the basket here. Austin Bertolino lost the ball out of bounds, though.
In the half court, Where'd I bring that?
Yeah, Merle,
last year. They
right.
played here before.
That's right.
Warrensburg Latham in the half court's playing man or some type of matchup zone. They're not staying conventional to the 1-2-2, where it's a traditional 1-2-2 right now from Nokomis.
I know exactly where you got that, Coach. Moreau Forsyth, they're from Macon County. Warrensburg Latham, they're from Macon County. The folks down there have seen some great basketball here in the last couple of seasons. And now Warrensburg Latham trying to do what Moreau Forsyth did last year, and that's bring that state championship trophy back to Macomb, to Macon County. And that's a turnover that time against the Cardinals and over and back.
Teams are feeling one another out.
You see that it's the 5th appearance for Nokomis, but no trophies. The 83, 97, and 06 teams, Sweet 16 teams, and the 83 and 97 teams made it to the Elite 8. But again, no trophies, so Nokomis, Steve Kimbrough guaranteed to bring their first ever state basketball trophy back to town this week.
Plays a little sloppy right now. Kids are playing very hard on the defensive end. The ball is going everywhere.
Well, and much like the first game that we saw, that opening quarter was not pretty, but there's a pretty play. Lucas Jacano driving and scoring.
Usually in the semis, the kids have a game under their belt on this floor. It'll make a difference in the first half especially.
Yeah, that's a good point in the new 4-class system. When you made it to state in years past, you had an Elite 8 game, you played a quarterfinal game on Friday, and then your semifinal game was Saturday. You already had a game on this floor under your belt. This is their first game. It's a state semifinal, but their first crack at Carver Arena. Here's Warrensburg, cut off, now at the top of the circle. There's Boyd, missed the shot.
I don't think Boyd's used to being that wide open. That was a really good look by him.
The Redskins again break that ball pressure. Ball was knocked out of the hands and off of Nokomis and out of bounds. Jared Spears had it roll off his hands and out of bounds, so it's a turnover. We're just underway. Nokomis and Warrensburg Latham are tied 2-2. Back with more from Carver Arena on the IHSA Television Network.
High school, this is their 3rd trip downstate, and this will actually be the first year that the boys basketball team will bringing home a trophy. In 1909, their basketball team actually started, which was just 1 year after the IHSA began. Their girls basketball team is actually no stranger to the state tournament, where they actually brought home 2 titles in the Class A in 1998 and 1999. This will actually be the boys' 100th season as a basketball team, and now we'll take it back.
All right, Ashley Robinson, thank you. Yeah, great history. When you talk about small school basketball in the state of Illinois, Nokomis is a school's name that comes up quite frequently.
Yes, Nokomis has had good basketball team. I think these seniors have lost 18 games in their high school career.
Right, 112 and 18 in the last 4 years. So
that's not bad.
That's a good senior class. Well, and the senior class on the other side of the bench, Warrensburg Latham is the winningest in school history as well, 101 and 20 in 4 years. So when you're talking about senior classes in both these cases that have averaged better than 25 points per 25 wins in a season, that's getting it done.
It is. I'm really impressed with the way Nokomis is trapping the ball defensively. They're doing a good job of denying on the sideline. They're really active in their 1-2-2.
Some of that success for the Cardinals in the last couple of years includes a 3rd place finish in 2003 when that team went 31-3, and they had a super sectional appearance with a 24-17 back in 2002. And Vic Binkley joked with us yesterday. He said, the kids have handled this pressure better than I have. Warrensburg Latham has been number 1 or number 2 pretty much the whole season in the rankings, and he says the kids have handled it better than the coaching staff.
Kids are younger. They recover quicker, and they handle things like that. Coaches sweat over every little thing.
That's right.
I don't know why that happens, but they do.
Nokomis has won 9 of its last 10. Its last loss a month ago on the 9th of February. And, when you start talking about winning streaks and getting teams in here, that's really what made the St. Anne run all the more remarkable, is losing 4 straight games to end the regular season, and then now we'll play for a state championship tomorrow.
Got it out of their system.
When Nokomis, some nice passing there, and then had that last pass hit the target. There was going to be a layup, but the pass intended for Wade Kimbrough goes out of bounds. You mentioned Warrensburg Latham has won 10 of its last 11. Macon Meridian, an overtime loss, the only defeat of the season, and it cost them the conference championship. They could win a state championship but not be the conference champion. That's kind of an unusual situation.
That's a very tough basketball conference, especially in the last few years. passing is just a little bit off. The defensive pressure is dictating right now. Whenever you start handling pressure, you hurry things just a little bit and have trouble finishing plays.
John Cheek missed a couple of his own shots, and now it's going to be a free throw opportunity for Jared Spears, who crashed the glass. So here's that post play we mentioned that Nokomis has really exploited a lot of its opponents, especially on the Wednesday night in the Super Sectional. They're going to go to the low post, no doubt about it.
They're very long. They've got very good timing on the inside. They're getting second and third shots, and it's still early.
Jared Spears to the foul line. He's had 17 and 16-point games to his credit this season. He's an outstanding goalie for the soccer team. Multiple sports star, also a baseball player. Long and lean. I could see where he'd be tough to score upon if he were a goalie.
Got long arms. I think that could give problems to Butts on the top of the as he's handling the basketball.
Certainly,
really hard to see the passing lanes.
Spears came away with a steal. Now it's a three from the corner. A rain ball by Austin Bertolini is missed, but it's cleaned up nicely and laid in. Wade Kimbrough, his first basket of the game, and so Nokomis is out to a 6-2 advantage, and we've got a foul to the timeline.
Nokomis is bringing the very physical play inside. They're doing a good job of sealing off, and Warrensburg Latham playing a little too fast to take advantage of situations.
Argenta Oriena, a common opponent for both teams, and both teams victorious. 6-2 our lead. We're under 3 minutes to go here first quarter. This is the second state semifinal here, Class 1A basketball. St. Anne has already punched a ticket to the championship game tomorrow. Kurt Pegler and former Normal University High School head coach Cal Hubbard with you courtside at Carver Arena. We've got all day of basketball. 1A here this afternoon, 2A games tonight.
Good patience on the offensive end that time. They've got Zach Boyd a really good look. I'm sorry. It wasn't Zach Boyd.
There's
it was
Kimbrough down low. And now a timeout called by the Cardinals. Warrensburg Latham calls timeout. Nokomis has 8 of the first 10 points of this basketball game. A great start for Steve Kimbrough's team.
It really is, and they're dictating tempo. They're taking the ball inside, and they're making it very difficult on Warrensburg Latham to guard them in there.
We mentioned how both of these teams have had senior class success, and they're veteran teams, so a lot of times on a run like this, a team like Warrensburg Latham won't be really deterred.
Well, all good teams have about 3 real good runs in them during the season, during a game. So far, so far Nokomis has done a really good job of controlling the tempo, letting their defense dictate. Warrensburg Latham is playing a little bit out of control right now, but that's the way they like to play. They just need to slow down just a little bit so they can see situations as they arise.
The Cardinals cheerleaders are trying to get their fans fired up. Both of these teams brought significant cheering sections for them, as you might imagine. And we remind you that the Class 2A semifinals are later tonight here at Carver Arena. We give you this update brought to you by Sport Court, the backyard leader of family fun since 1974, sportcourt.com. Manual against Olney East Richland in the semifinal number 1 in Class 2A. That's at 6:30 tonight. And Chicago North Lawndale against Pinckneyville, the top of the state against the bottom of the state there at 8:15. And you'll see both those games here over most of these stations on the IHSA television network. Here we have Nokomis off to a quick 8-2 advantage, and another steal by the Redskins.
The 1-2-2 wants you to throw that diagonal pass. It looks like it's open, but it's not open very often.
And so Nokomis trying to take advantage of coming up with another turnover by Warrensburg Latham. Again, the penetration down low. They're able to get the ball in the low post, and there's another foul going to be whistled against the Cardinals. And that's going to go against Zach Culp, who's checked in the game. And now we're going to see Adam Wright come back in the game now for the Cardinals, the 6'5" center at 210 pounds. Wright actually had his shoulder pop out in the sectional final against Putnam County a couple of weeks ago. He was unable to play the rest of that night, but they popped it back into place, and he played on Tuesday night in the Illinois State University Super Sectional. And now a steal. C.J. Yeakley all the way down, and he has both of Warrensburg Latham's baskets.
Good job on doubling down in the post, forced a bad pass, turned into basket at the other end.
And now a near steal. The ball is loose, and it is a steal by the Cardinals. This time it's Boyd that comes away with it. He crossover dribble, scooped it up, and laid it in.
An impossible shot that he made look easy.
And now a backcourt foul on Zach Boyd. So now it's the Cardinals turning up the pressure.
And at the timeout, there were several adjustments that Coach Binkley made. And the number one thing was let's go after him. Let's quit sitting back on our heels. So it really turned up the pressure, and it's really forced the tempo of the game to increase.
We approach the 1 minute mark left here in the opening quarter of this Class 1A state semifinal.
Both teams are very strong on the defensive end. That's where they hang their hat.
And we've got a whistle this time at the top of the circle, and that's going to go against Warrensburg Latham, and that's going to be C.J. Yeakley's first foul. Check that, that's his second foul now, and that's the 5th team foul against the Cardinals.
If that's a foul all day, we're going to have a lot of fouls today because both people in the ball press, anytime you play the ball press, you got some slapping going on.
Steve Kimbrough barking out instructions for his team to be patient. 15-foot jump shot is missed by Bertolino, and it's ripped down to the defensive end by Culp. Now the Cardinals have a chance to tie this game up. From the outside, a three from Butts is missed. That would have been for the lead.
I do think how kids adjust to the officiating and how the game's being called is usually key to who wins.
One!
Hold for one shot now.
Final 10 seconds, opening quarter here. Nokomis with the basketball and a 2-point lead. This is Chicano. It's a kick out. Bertolino, he's the three-point threat, and he knocks it down. Right at the buzzer. So the Redskins get exactly what they want. They get a three-point shot right at the horn, and they've got an 11-6 lead after 1 quarter of play in the Class 1A state semifinals. Back with more from Carver Arena after these messages from your local station. Update brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Nokomis with an 11-6 lead after getting that late three-point shot to go down by Austin Bertolino. And Nokomis is leading all the key stats right now, Cal. Rebounds, assists, obviously the score as well.
Well, Warrensburg Latham's 0 for 4 from three-point area. I think that the tempo of the game has definitely turned into Nokomis' favor. They're a lot more deliberate. They're going to their inside players. Warrensburg Latham seemed to be a little out of sync on the offensive end, trying to play a little bit too fast. I think things will get righted. It's going to be a good game all day. That's unforced error right there.
Warrensburg Latham opens the second quarter with a quick turnover. And so Nokomis now with the basketball. They'll walk it up the floor with an 11-6 advantage as we open second quarter action here. If you're just joining us, St. Anne defeated Lewistown in the first Class 1A state semifinal, so St. Anne is in the championship game against the winner of this one tomorrow. And now a steal. The Cardinals answer with Luke Butts coming away with a loose ball.
Good job of playing passing lanes and tipping it away.
Well, both of these teams love to employ that ball pressure, and so whichever team handles it best is going to walk out of here and play for a championship tomorrow.
You can't stay on your heels and catch a pass against the press. They've got to be able to meet their pass, and the ball's got to move quickly. Here's
Warnsley's three. That's missed. And it's cleared by Nokomis' John Cheek, who's fouled in the backcourt. That's Zach Boyd, so that's his second foul, and that could be a big foul. See if he stays on the floor here.
I know he was trying to tell Coach he won't foul anymore. He wants to stay out there.
So Boyd, the first team All-State player for the Cardinals now with 2 quick fouls. And we'll keep that in mind at the 7:13 mark here of the second quarter that he has picked up his second foul. And as you mentioned, Coach, when you've got teams using that full court pressure, you're going to have a lot of fouls. Like you've got one here, and that's going to be the second on Butts.
I think the officials are trying to keep the game under control. They know both teams play physical defense. They've had a lot of touch fouls called so far. Kids are going to have to make the adjustment.
And so now Nokomis is already in the bonus here in the first half. And we're not even a minute into this second quarter. Austin Bertolino, who is the fourth of the Bertolino boys to play for the Nokomis Redskins. First there was Aaron, then there was Andy, then there was Adam, now there's Austin. Aaron's team was the club that made it in 97 to the Elite Eight. So it's been an 11-year stretch of having Bertolino boys on the floor for the Redskins.
Well, Austin's got an awful nice shooting stroke. And good hands. That was a really good steal. Exposed the ball and he took it away.
So far, everything is going in favor of the Nokomis Redskins. And now a steal. Redskins that time turn it over. It's C.J. Yeakley, who's played well in the opening moments here for the Cardinals. He's got 4 of his team's 6 points, and he got his hand in the passing lane there to knock away that pass.
When you leave the ground to make a pass, you're usually making a mistake.
Here's Warrensley down the lane, hangs, fires, and he drew contact. And he's going to get to the free throw line, it looks like. So Dominique Warrensley, just an explosive player who sometimes is known really for his defensive intensity and the ability to come up with steals. This time is creating some offense.
He put the ball on the floor and took it in a lane. He was a little out of control, but he got bailed out on the call, so he gets to go to the free throw line. He's got very good wingspan. He makes a real difference in on defense, but he's got some offensive skills as well.
Dominique and his brother Cameron in their first seasons playing for Warrensburg Latham. They're in the Decatur St. Teresa school system last year, but playing this year for the Cardinals. And Vic Binkley joked with us yesterday that Dominique has probably been the guy that's gotten the most of his scorn as far as shouting at him the most. He loves him, but he just says he's having a hard time sometimes figuring out where he should be on the floor.
Right. When you learn the ball press and you haven't grown up in the ball press, being able to cover the middle is a problem for most people who learn to play defense man-to-man. So he doesn't cover the middle quite as well as Coach wants him to. He said he's really shown improvement in the last 3 weeks.
Jacano misses the free throw, and so now the Cardinals come back down the floor. They're behind by 5. It's Nokomis 13 and Warrensburg Latham 8 as we get close to the 6-minute mark here of this second quarter.
Being in the bonus early, they really need to make their free throws. That could give separation. Because Warrensburg Latham's going to go on a streak here pretty soon.
That ball is off of Zach Boyd and out of bounds, and so it's the Cardinals turning the basketball over again.
Way too much dribbling against the ball press. Needs to go in, back out.
8 turnovers already for Warrensburg Latham. Ball is on the floor. Nokomis comes away with it. This is Jacano. And now we've got a whistle, and we've got another foul. It's going to be a blocking foul against the Cardinals, and the fouls are really starting to pile up for Warrensburg Latham. Is that Zach Boyd's third? That's Zach Boyd's third foul.
You take a gamble, you leave him on the floor, he's your best player, you give him a chance to play his way through it.
And so Zach Boyd with his third foul, he goes to the Warrensburg Latham bench. The foul situation right now, Coach, is 9-2. 9 fouls against Warrensburg Latham and 2 fouls against Nokomis. And as you said, being in that bonus situation and now the double bonus from here on out, it's just so imperative to make those free throws.
And being in the attack mode of getting the ball inside, they're getting the ball in position where they can go to the free throw line. They're having a lot of patience on the offensive end, and they're the aggressor at this time.
And now they catch another break off the offensive rebound. The ball was tied up. It's going to be Nokomis' possession on alternate possession. So the Redskins are getting everything going their way. And we've got another foul before the ball was even inbounded. And that one's going to be whistled against Adam Wright.
Adam Wright had really good position, but there was some banging going on. You've got to adjust to the officials in order to have a chance at the state championship. And that's what Warrensburg Latham is going to have to do. They're going to have to play through this rough stretch right now and get their streak going on the defensive end. They've been playing defense so far with their hands, not their feet. When they start playing with their feet, they'll be a lot more effective.
And at the 5:46 mark of this second quarter, Nokomis is in the double bonus. So 2 free throws from here on out for each foul against Warrensburg Latham the rest of the half. And now a missed free throw leads to an offensive rebound. The Redskins are just having their way right now. Here's Jacano. Down the lane, lost the ball out of bounds, and it's going to go to Warrensburg Latham.
Help him! Help him!
Boy, the Cardinals really in need of a basket here just to kind of change some of the karma that's going on in the building right now. They've got fouls piling up, and they're turning the basketball over. They really need something. Boy, Nokomis is just right now really almost smelling blood in the water, if you will. As we approach the 5-minute mark here, left in this second quarter.
They continue to attack the defense on the dribble, and that's not exactly the way you want to do it. They've got better ball movement and people movement right now. They've taken some patience.
Warnsley works baseline, had a shot blocked. Ball is on the floor and scooped out of there by Jared Spears.
You're not going to get the baseline very often against a 1-2-2 defense.
Shut up! I wait! I wait! I wait! Go inside! Inside!
I'm not sure anybody in the building imagined that the game would start this way. Except if you're in the Nokomis locker room. There's a three-point shot that's missed by Austin Bertolino.
The defense is always I've never seen a semifinal be determined by offense. It's usually by defense.
And we got a backcourt whistle, a foul against Austin Bertolino. We've got a timeout on the floor. Nokomis is out front. 15-8 over Warrensburg Latham in the Class 1A state semifinals. Back with more of these messages and a word from your local stations.
Warrensburg Latham is here. They're on their third trip downstate, where in 2003 they actually won third in the Class A division, so they're trying to do a better finish here. The girls softball team actually took home second place in 2004 in their state tournament, and this is actually the team's they started out their basketball season in 1921 in the 22 season, so that was actually their very first season. So go ahead and take it back, Kurt.
Thank you, Ashley. Warrensburg Latham now with the basketball, but Nokomis with the lead at 15-8. We're under 5 minutes to go here in this second quarter of the second state semifinal in Class 1A boys basketball in Peoria at Carver Arena. St. Anne with a victory over Lewistown has already got a reservation for the state championship game tomorrow. And they'll meet the winner of this one for all the marbles. Outside jumper that goes down, and it's a much-needed three-point basket from C.J. Yeakley.
Excellent patience that time too, Kurt. He waited and they waited. They moved the basketball and they hit the gap. They had a good shot.
Yeakley with 7 of his team's 11 points. And as we said, just for a kind of a change in the karma, the Cardinals needed something to go right for them, and it did, because Nokomis has really controlled this basketball game.
You know, at the same time, in 11 minutes, Warrensburg Latham's only scored 8 points. That's not going to happen very often. There's no way you can expect to win if you're not going to attack the basket in better fashion. So,
well, you've got a team in the Cardinals that are averaging 65 points per game, and I think you've really got to tip your hat to Nokomis that they have just really frustrated and confused them, and certainly the foul trouble on Zach Boyd has helped their cause, but to hold them to 11 points in a quarter and a half is remarkable.
That's what the ball press does. It slows teams down and makes them have to work for every basket.
And now it's the Cardinals coming away with a turnover, and Warrensburg Latham brings the ball up the floor. Backcourt foul. That time it's Lucas Jacano whistled as he reached in on Luke Butts.
Coach Kimbrough didn't like that foul much. You got in good defensive position. In the ball press, you don't steal the ball. Your job is to contain and push them into high-risk areas. And you had him going into that area, he fouled him.
Here's Warnsley. His three from the corner is missed. He's still scoreless. Now Jacano brings the ball back up for the Redskins. 29-5. Steve Kimbrough in his 27th season. Better than 560 career wins. But it's a turnover against Nokomis, and the Cardinals will get it back.
Just got a little bit too anxious, had the ball in the low post and tried to throw a pass that there was no way it could be completed. Those things happen in state tournament games.
And now Troy Kimbrough comes in. He is the nephew of the head coach, Steve Kimbrough, the cousin of Wade Kimbrough. Both Kimbroughs on the floor. We've been seeing a lot of the family affair thing. We just got finished seeing Lewistown in the first Class 1A semifinal with the Hatfield.
You don't want to be in the corner there. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, that's a trouble spot against that ball pressure.
You sure do. That's where you want him to take it, but you don't want to go there.
Yeakley had the hot hand, but he missed it that time.
They're settling for the outside shot. They're not getting anything inside, and there's no inside-outside rotation. Panicking just a little bit. They'll hit their stride.
Alex Beery picks up the foul, his first foul. Beery, a 6'3", 160-pound junior for Warrensburg Latham. And back down to the free throw line goes Lucas Chicano, who's also a soccer player. And an opportunity to give his team a little more cushion. They own a 4-point lead here.
Got to make your free throws. Got such a foul advantage that this is the time where you can have some separation, especially right now where you've got Buck on the bench. Boyd on the bench, sorry.
And then the question is, how effective will he be in the second half, playing with 3 fouls? He splits his foul shot, does Chicano.
The good players find a way to get it done.
Again, we saw a little bit of that in the first state semifinal game when an All-Stater Cliff Fleming from St. Anne was strapped with 2 fouls and only played 5 minutes in the entire first half, and then had to play with that kind of bubble over his head in the second half. Here's Worsley, crossover dribble, drives and scores off the glass.
Ball reversal, was able to get the ball inside.
Worsley's first 2 points of the game. It's a 3-point Nokomis advantage. 16-13. Here's Bertolino. Nice pass down low. Pump fake by Kimbrough. Couldn't get it to go. And another shot is blocked. Ball's out of bounds, and it's to Nokomis.
A lot of contact. He went up strong both times. Just didn't get this basket.
Troy Kimbrough will leave the lineup, and Jared Spears re-enters the game, the 6'5" senior. Now we're seeing Adam Wright leave. It looks like the playing floor and go back, and it might be his shoulder again. We mentioned that he had shoulder surgery last year in the summer and missed all of his team's summer activity, and had his shoulder pop out in the sectional final at Mackinac last Friday. 18-13 now, the Nokomis lead. A 5-point advantage for the Redskins, who've really controlled this first half and led throughout. Here's Butts. It's a zone D here by Nokomis, huh, Coach?
Yeah, it's the 1-2-2.
Shot is missed, long rebound, and back comes Nokomis quickly. Bertolino all the way down. He's trying to get the ball to Spears, and there's going to be a whistle and a turnover, and the ball's going to go back to Warrensburg Latham.
Waited too long to make the pass, then he probably should have shot the basketball. But the shots that Warrensburg Latham get are not high percentage shots. That's a credit to Nokomis and their defensive effort.
Under a minute to go here. Opening half of this Class 1A state semifinal. 3-point shot. Good look that time by Zach Culp, but he couldn't get it to go down, and it's Chicano on the defensive backboards, and now quickly up the floor for Nokomis. And it looks like the Redskins are going to hold for one if they can hang on to the basketball, but it's another turnover, and it's Butts that comes away with it for the Cardinals.
2 offensive possessions where they've had the advantage, and they went ahead and forced the action. Coach was trying to get him to back out and hold for one.
And Butts is fouled by Bertolino, and that's his second. The team's 5th foul here, so still no free throws coming yet for the Warrensburg Latham Cardinals, and probably in the final 30 seconds, I would imagine they wouldn't get to that point as far as the bonus is concerned.
It's really hard to turn that motor off when you're taking the ball up the floor so hard. But he gives Warrensburg Latham a chance to go in much closer.
Butts is going to bring it back out. They'll reload the offense here in the final 10 seconds. Dribble penetration. Now it's Yeakley's shot is missed. Rebounded by Kimbrough. Final seconds of the half. Wade Kimbrough lets it fire from half court, and it's no good. But Nokomis controls the tempo and controls the opening half and heads to the locker room. With a 5-point lead, the Redskins 18, and the Warrensburg Latham, the second-ranked team in the state, with 13. A 5-point lead, and we mentioned which team was going to handle the ball press better. Nokomis did.
Yes, and Nokomis' defensive effort was also better because they slowed the offense down for Warrensburg Latham.
And Ashley is standing by with Steve Kimbrough.
Thanks, Kurt. Coach, it seemed like the press kind of got you guys out of your game in the second quarter. You were really pounding it inside at first. What are you going to do to counter that in the second half?
Well, we've got to have all 5 players help bring the ball up the floor. We start standing against it, not cutting into the middle and keeping them half to where they've got to keep track of us. And whenever we do that, and they're athletic. I mean, they kind of got into their game, but we've caused some turnovers for them too.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
And take it back, Kurt.
Thanks, Ashley. Steve Kimbrough's Nokomis Redskins with an 18-13 lead over Warrensburg Latham, halftime in the Class 1A state semifinals. Back with more from Carver Arena in downtown Peoria after this on the IHSA television.
The other team, and it seems like they couldn't really handle the pressure as much on the outside. Is that what you're going to stick with in the second half?
Well, we're going to try to do a little bit better job passing the ball and attacking them. Defensively, 18 points, but offensively, we've only got 13 points.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck in this half. Thanks. Back to you, Kurt.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Vic Binkley's team trailing Nokomis 18-13 as we get set to start this second half of action. Again, St. Anne defeated Lewistown in the first state semifinal, so St. Anne is in the championship game against the winner of this one. Nokomis and Warrensburg Latham. Again, Nokomis looking for its first ever state trophy. Warrensburg Latham trying to better its third place finish from the 2003 season when the Cardinals were 31-3. And it'll be interesting to see what Zach Boyd does when he comes back, because he's got 3 fouls here, Coach, and he's a first-team All-Stater.
It'll be interesting to see the adjustments that Warrensburg Latham makes against the 1-2-2 and how they attack it and the kind of shots they get. So far, they've been impatient against it, and as a result, have had bad shots. They've also turned the ball over a few times. The tempo of the game right now is Nokomis' way, and Warrensburg Latham's going to have to do something to try to change that.
Both teams open the second half with the same starters that opened this basketball game. It's Jacano, Bertolino, Spears, Cheek, and Kimbrough right now for Nokomis, which has the basketball to start this second half. But the Cardinals come away with a steal, so it's Warrensburg Latham that answers.
Forced turnover. It's a good way to start for Warrensburg Latham.
Warrensburg Latham starts again with all of the same starters with the exception of Adam Wright, who we saw leave the floor, and we think that he might be having some continued shoulder issues. So Yeakley's on the floor with Zach Boyd, Dominic Warnsley, and Luke Butts, who are the original starters, along with Zach Culp, who's on the floor right now in place of Adam Wright. Ball's out of bounds, and the Cardinals will maintain possession.
They used Zach Boyd in the middle of the zone that time to help distribute it a little bit more.
Now working the baseline, hanging, firing, and scoring off the glass is Boyd. So we thought if he's going to be tentative, he sure didn't show it there.
Sure didn't, and it's very unusual for Nokomis to give up a baseline drive.
And the Redskins just threw the basketball away, so they've had 2 offensive possessions here in this second quarter and haven't gotten a shot off. And quickly, Steve Kimbrough goes to the bench. He's going to send Del Wood in, and he'll replace Jared Spears.
Nokomis is not getting where they belong against the press breaker on the first 2 possessions. I'm sure Coach Kimbrough will get that straightened out.
Now here's Warnsley on the baseline. His pull-up jumper, that's good. So the Cardinals have come out of the locker room on fire here in this opening couple of possessions, and now another near turnover. That time as Butts almost got a steal in the backcourt as Lucas Jacano was having a hard time handling it.
Real good job of turning up the pressure by Butts. I mean, he just was all over on the inbound. They're trying to deny, bringing the heat.
And the Warrensburg Latham crowd, which is right in that northwest corner of the building where the ball is going to be inbounded, now bringing some of the heat and trying to get the Cardinals fired up. They pulled it within a point.
Good thing he wasn't trying to call plays.
And another steal. Butts came up with it, but he turned the ball back over right at the timeline. So he got the steal, but turned it right back over.
Yeah, just try to get in a little bit too much of a hurry. Real good timeout by Coach Kimbrough here.
So Steve Kimbrough wants timeout. He wants to settle his troops down because Nokomis has not even gotten a shot off here in this first 90 seconds of this third quarter. Time for another National Association of Realtors trivia question. Looking for a professional realtor? go to Realtor.com. In Lewistown's 1940 state tournament appearance, their first round victory came against a school that years later became famous in its own right. Who was it? Was it Hebron? Was it Cobden? Was it Chicago DuSable?
You asking me a question?
I think I know the answer to that one, but I'm a little afraid to stick my neck out. We'll wait till the answer comes out here.
I sounded like an idiot over more things than that.
We're at the 6:32 mark, so we've played 90 seconds of this third quarter, and Warrensburg Latham, which was down at the half 18-13, has the first 4 points of this third quarter. Now it's a 1-point game, and again, we have stressed, Cal, the difference in this ball game is going to be who is handling this zone pressure the best. Who's going to handle that ball press the best? Initially, Nokomis was handling it best, but right now the Redskins aren't doing a very good job of handling the basketball against Warrensburg Latham's version of this pressure.
Well, they play it differently, and the denial pressure is the thing that's giving Nokomis trouble right now, and it's also increased the tempo for the offensive end for Warrensburg Latham. They've turned the tempo around. Now, if they can keep Nokomis playing at this speed, it's going to be to their advantage.
See if the Redskins can at least get a shot off in their fourth possession of this half.
The Cardinals are really flying around on the defensive end. They got a lot more intensity. They really picked it up.
Behind a screen, a three-point shot is missed by Bertolino. The ball is on the floor, and it's going to be a held ball. And this time the possession arrow is favoring the Cardinals. Now the answer to our trivia question, Lewistown beat Hebron 31-30 in Hebron's 1952 state championship team, the smallest school in IHSA state history to win a state championship. That's the answer to our trivia question. I had a feeling that may have been the answer, but I didn't want to stick my neck out.
That's who I was going with. Isn't it great, though, when you don't have to make the call?
That's right.
You can just sit here and talk about it.
Have a couple of people on the truck put the answer up for you. We love that. If only our life was that easy.
Yeah.
Cardinals have a chance for their lead, and they get it. It's Dominique Warnsley working the baseline, and they're on a 6-0 run to open this second half.
Real good patience on the offensive end. Got the ball in the middle of the zone.
There's a tough shot that goes down by Lucas Jacano. And now it's Nokomis in front by a point. A couple of acrobatic shots, one on one end from Warnsley, one on the other end from Jacano. Here's Warnsley again, stutter step all the way down, finger rolled it in.
You just don't see a dribble penetration from the wing against the ball press very often. Very good move by Warnsley.
Warnsley with a couple of excellent baskets here to give his team a 1-point advantage at 21-20. Explosive player. Now we'll see if Nokomis can answer. Here's Kimbrough. And a steal, or a near steal that time by the quick hands of Dominique Warnsley. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 4:43 to go here, third quarter. Warrensburg Latham is in front, 21-20. Back with more from Carver Arena after these local messages. Latham has pushed itself in front thanks to a couple of spectacular baskets here by Dominique Warnsley. Here's his first one on the baseline, coach. And then here's another one where he a little stutter step dribble drive and scores with the left hand.
The defense is designed to have the strength from the inside out. And if you attack the middle and you have success there, you have a chance to defeat the ball press. So Nokomis is going to have to make some adjustment on the dribble penetration and on the ball getting in the middle of the floor. But since Zach Boyd has come back into the game, he's become a distributor of the ball from the middle, and it's really opened up the defense.
And so Nokomis now will have the basketball to begin this second part of this third quarter against St. Anne. Is already in the state championship game after a victory earlier today over the Lewistown Indians. And they'll face the winner of this one for the Class 1A state title tomorrow. All four of these teams will take home a trophy. Lewistown is guaranteed one. They'll play for third place tomorrow. Warnsley the foul.
Tried to knife the pass. I thought Jacino did a really good job of coming toward the pass, and it caused the foul.
Well, it's pressure defense and patient offense for Nokomis. That's kind of been their calling card for years. The Lauren Wallace influence, if you will. And we'll see how well they can respond to having Warrensburg Latham reawaken. And there's going to be a three-point opportunity now for Wade Kimbrough.
They continue to dominate on the glass.
Kimbrough with the offensive board and the stick back. And the coach's son now with a three-point play try. And the free throw rolls in. We mentioned Lauren Wallace, who perhaps most people remember from his days at Quincy, but coached at Nokomis, and Steve Kimbrough played for him, and that's where that ball press was really created, huh?
Well, also we remember him from Lincoln, and he had some really good success at Lincoln in the ball press, and he was a master of it.
Turnaround fadeaway jumper that time is short by Yeakley, and it's going to be rebounded, and we've got a backcourt foul against Warrensburg Latham. That was Yeakley missing the shot and then being a little too aggressive going for the rebound.
Nothing you can do in offense when a rebound comes off like that except cause problems, and sometimes the problems are for you.
And so Adam Wright has now re-entered the game. And that's good to see that he's back in the game after he had left. We mentioned that he's had some shoulder issues after having surgery a year ago. Nokomis with a basketball and a 2-point lead at 23-21. Chicano tried to penetrate there, but he was cut off. Now it's Bertolino. And here's Chicano. He will penetrate this time. A kick down low ball is off of John Cheek and out of bounds, and so Warrensburg Latham gets it back.
Tips count too, and they got active hands and they got a piece of the pass, and it just wasn't plainly handled. But what a really good move down the lane.
And when you're playing defense, you'll use your arms, your legs, your elbows, everything to tip a pass.
That's right.
Hands up! Hands up! Let's go! Let's go!
We approach the 3-minute mark left in this third quarter. There's Warnsley again, knifing through the lane. He missed the shot, couldn't get the tip to go either. Now Nokomis will try to be patient offensively. That's at least what the head coach Steve Kimbrough was hoping. Down low, laid it in. Austin Bertolino.
Real good job. Coach Kimbrough had a flash into the middle. Got a weak side basket off of it.
The long-range threat, scoring from in close that time, and now Nokomis has answered Warrensburg Latham's run with a run of their own, and now a 4-point lead.
Hands up! Come on! Come on!
And now a steal, and so the Redskins come away with it. And so they have kind of rode that well, now they turn the basketball over. I was starting to say they've kind of ridden the wave of that first punch that they got from the Cardinals to open the quarter, and now they're kind of delivering the goods.
I think they're also seeing some fatigue out of the Nokomis kids. They've had a long trip, played on Wednesday night, and they don't have the same legs they did in the first half.
Boyd, a catch and shoot three. So Boyd with a three to pull his team within one.
I think Zach's going to have to see the ball just a little bit more.
Well, you mentioned about the extra day of preparation that the Cardinals would have had over Nokomis, and we've got to travel now against Lucas Chicano. Nokomis had both a regional and a super sectional game postponed a day by bad weather. Their game in Carbondale, scheduled for Tuesday, was moved to Wednesday because of the snow that hit the southern part of Illinois, and so Thursday was a real crazy day for them. They win the super sectional, they get off the bus, get back home about midnight on Wednesday night, and then have to go through all the tickets and all that situation early Thursday. Bus here to Peoria, really haven't had time to think. It's just been, let's put it on autopilot and go.
Yeah, it's really hard to have recovery time. That's a really big win for the school, and for them not to have the time to prepare for their next opponent. It could hurt them, but these kids have played enough basketball that they'll be able to adjust. They'll get their second win. They've really picked up their defensive pressure, Nokomis has, in the last couple of minutes.
Well, that's going to be a jump ball, alternate possession, a held ball there, so Nokomis is going to get it back at the 151 mark. And now a travel. Well, this game can get ugly when you've got a couple of teams that just pressure you, a couple of teams that really put it on you all court long, whether it's the long way, the short way, they're going to make it hard on you, and then it starts working on your psyche, and you start turning the basketball over.
And also fatigue it plays a big part. And when your legs aren't going where you think they're supposed to go, kids make mistakes. That's what pressure does. It forces kids to do things they're not used to doing.
Bertolino's rainbow three rims out. Tipped around, controlled by Nokomis and laid in by John Cheek.
They just keep battling on the boards, though. That's where the game is won or lost, is on the glass.
Now Boyd in traffic. Gets it to Culp, who's fouled. See if they call that on the floor. They do. It's a non-shooting foul, and it's going to go against Austin Bertolino. His third personal, and team foul number 5. Check that. That's team foul number 3 for Nokomis. We approach the 1-minute mark left here in this third quarter. 3-point Nokomis lead. Warrensburg Latham with the basketball. The Warrensburg Latham Cardinals at 31-1, ranked number 2 in the state in Class 1A, and turned the basketball over.
Great pass by Boyd to Yakeley, and he just mishandled it out of bounds.
Now quickly back up the floor, the Redskins, before the Cardinals could really get set defensively, bring it back up. We're under a minute to go here, third quarter. The Redskins trying to kind of wait out the storm that they got from the Cardinals in the opening minutes of this third quarter, and they've done a nice job of doing that.
Last 2 minutes, they've righted the split ship.
Del Wood almost lost it. Now it's John Cheek. He's in all kinds of trouble, and there's going to be a reach-in, and it's going to be against Eakley, it looks like.
Real good pressure. Thought he had the jump ball. Wasn't meant to be.
Fourth personal foul, though, against C.J. Yeakley. So he has 4. Boyd has 3. He's the first player in this game to have 4 fouls, and a reach-in on Luke Butts.
Another thing that's really hurting Warrensburg right now, they're not getting very many calls, but they're also, the way they're reacting to the calls is affecting their play on the floor. You got to forget about it and play. It's hard to do, but you have to.
And
you
especially
have to play through it.
On this stage,
right,
with so much at stake. C.J. Yeakley now goes to the Warrensburg Latham bench with his 4th foul. 20 seconds to go here, third quarter. Ball tipped out of bounds that time by an active Zach Boyd.
Coach was open that time. He just didn't come out with the ball.
Jared Offenbaugh is checked in the game for Warrensburg Latham. It's our first look at the 5'10 junior guard.
Really enjoying the way Nokomis' defense in the half court all moves together. The pressure is much better with Warrensburg Latham this half, but they're still not all moving at the same time.
Jacano is guarded by Butts. Now 3 seconds on the clock. It's going to be Jacano. His shot is blocked by Wormsley. Kimbrough gets a shot off. It would have countered had it gone, but it didn't. And we're done with 3 quarters of play. Nokomis 27, Warrensburg Latham 24. A sure to be exciting fourth quarter is up next on the IHSA television network. Our third quarter stats update brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Nokomis with a 3-point advantage. Both teams, you see, Coach, with 8 field goals made. Big free throw differential in favor of Nokomis. But the rebounds are very similar. Second chance points favors the Redskins.
Well, Nokomis has really been doing a good job on the glass. The pressure really bothered them that quarter. Somehow they've got to figure out a way to break pressure. Warrensburg Latham did a much better job on the offensive end, moving the basketball and getting good shots.
Fourth quarter underway here. The Cardinals with a basketball trailing Nokomis 27-24. The Redskins of Nokomis 29-5. Warrensburg Latham's Cardinals 31-1. The winner gets St. Anne in the Class 1A state championship game tomorrow. Great patience shown here by the Cardinals. Warnsley works baseline. Missed the shot. Got his own rebound. Now from the outside, a 3 for the tie. Boyd the miss. And it's cleared by Jared Spears. Now it's Kimbrough back in the front court. He gives it back to Spears. Now Kimbrough down the lane. His shot is blocked. And a foul in the backcourt against Nokomis.
I'm not sure who got a piece of that, but it was a great block. I think it was 32 who just came into the basketball game. Alex Beery.
And again, an opportunity for this to be a tie basketball game with a three-point make here by the Cardinals. This one is set up to go down to the wire the way it's shaping up.
Hands up! Get your hands up!
Reach-in foul is going to be whistled against the Redskins here. That'll be the fourth team foul against Nokomis, and the foul is whistled against Austin Bertolino, and that's his fourth personal. So Bertolino is going to go to the bench in favor of Del Wood, 6-foot senior.
The kids have done a nice job of adjusting to the officiating. We don't have nearly as many fouls in this half.
Agreed.
And the kids are playing still as aggressively defensively as they were before.
Here's Boyd, hangs, fires, shoots it, misses it. Ball is on the floor, and the Redskins scrum it out of there. It was Cheek that came away with it. Now is steal in the backcourt. Butts gives it up to Warrensburg.
Crucial part of the game right there. It would have been easy for Boyd to pick up his fourth foul. Instead, it turns into a turnover. That's just good basketball.
It's a one-point game.
Oh.
And it's going to be a turnover, and Warrensburg Latham gets it back.
Nokomis' players are turning their back on the basket, and as a result, the pressure is becoming greater and greater. They've got to start looking for their pressure releases against, and usually it comes from the middle of the floor.
And so C.J. Yeakley now re-enters the game for Warrensburg Latham. He's got 4 fouls. That's him with the basketball there. Now it's Boyd. Under 6 minutes to go here. Fourth quarter. State semifinal action here at the Peoria Civic Center. Kurt Pegler and former Normal University High head coach Cal Hubbard with you. Boyd in traffic. Missed the shot. Loose ball. Corralled by Nokomis. That's Kimbrough who gets it.
An interesting no call. I'm not sure which way I would have called it either.
Nokomis trying to be patient again offensively. The coaching staff pleading with its team to do that. And a travel.
Just getting in way too big a hurry. There's no reason to. Pressure does crazy things to you.
Unofficially 20 turnovers now for the Redskins. That's a big number.
All right, the defensive intensity is definitely turning the game back in Warrensburg's favor, but they're still down.
5 minutes to go here. It's a 1-point Nokomis lead. Warrensburg Latham with the basketball. There's Butts. Now it's Boyd. Yeakley, his jumper off the back of the rim. No good. John Cheek clears now for the Redskins.
Warrensburg Latham is not getting any easy baskets. Everything is hard work, and that's a credit to Nokomis. They're going to have to get some shots to go down.
We've got a timeout on the floor. Nokomis with a 1-point lead. 4:41 to go here in the fourth quarter. Back with more from the state championships in Peoria after these messages and a word from your local station. Time now for our Walgreens Picture Perfect moment. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of this IHSA broadcast and the Picture Perfect moment. Boy, the fans are younger and younger, aren't they, Coach, when they come here to the state
I
tournament?
thought that was a player. The coaches look younger too.
Yeah,
by
well,
the way.
they do, don't they? We start scratching our heads trying to figure out the ages of these fans and the coaches. And thanks to Walgreens for their Picture Perfect moment and their support of IHSA basketball. Ashley, let's go to you.
Thanks, Kurt. I was just in Warrensburg Latham's huddle, and the coach said the way they're going to win this game is to keep the pressure on the ball and to push the ball up the court offensively. So we'll look for that in the rest of this game. Thanks. Back to you, Kurt.
Thank you, Ashley. 27-26. Nokomis with the basketball and a 1-point lead. 4.5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter of the Class 1A state semifinal. Kimbrough works his way out of the corner. Now it's Jacano. Spears looking down low, hangs on to it. Well, the ball was almost lost out of there, but the Redskins maintain possession. We have bodies flying all over the place in front of us.
Really
Short
good
baseline
ball.
jumper by Jared Spears is missed, but great ball movement,
Great ball
by
movement.
the Redskins.
Really good attack. Didn't get the shot to go down.
Got the open look, but couldn't finish the play. There's Zach Boyd spinning, scoring, three-point play.
Good job of using his body, getting the ball in a high percentage area.
What a move.
Good job of getting to the rim. Going away from defensive pressure. It's a pretty thing.
Vic Binkley told us yesterday that Boyd is a great leader and perhaps the best basketball player he's ever coached. He also added that he would have been a great quarterback in football, and now we're seeing him try to engineer a come-from-behind win for the Cardinals. Now it's Warrensburg Latham in front by 2. And Nokomis trying to answer. We got a foul. It looks like it's going to be on Warnsley. He was about a half a step slow in trying to intercept the pass intended for Jacano. Here's another look at it.
He had a long way to come for this.
Just about a half a step slow, and he got the reach-in foul, and so it's the 6th foul against the Cardinals.
Keno coming back to meet the pass caused a turnover, from a turnover to a foul.
And Jacano to trigger now for Nokomis. Trying to tie this basketball game up. Here's Kimbrough. Works his way to the paint. Shoots it up. Can't get it to go. Rolled off. Offensive rebound and stick back in by John Cheek. And we're even at 29. Now it's Boyd back up the floor. He can't get the shot to go. It was contested nicely by a couple of defenders back down the floor.
Nokomis is doing a really good job of controlling the glass. They get second shots when they need them. That was a big possession for Warrensburg Latham, too. And I'm sure they wanted Boyd to be shooting the basketball.
We approach the 3-minute mark left in this one. We're all even at 29. A couple of Class 1A heavyweights going at it here. Kimbrough down low. 3-point opportunity for Wade Kimbrough.
Good job of post entry, turn baseline side, good score.
Now he's coming off a 28-point performance in the Super Sectional against Oakville. That's a career high. And now he's got an opportunity here for a 3-point play to give his team a 3-point lead with just under 3 minutes to go. But his foul shot is missed. He goes and gets the rebound, though.
What a great defensive play.
And now his pass is picked off. Dominique Warnsley is fouled. Boy, we've got some action here and a lot of extra effort and a lot of just hustle plays on both ends. Look at this hustle play here. It's Warnsley and Cheek going at it.
But the real play was when Kimbrough came over the top and was able to get that loose ball. Then we just had a turnover.
Pardon me, that was Jared Spears going after it with Warnsley, and he's the one whistled for the foul. Zach Boyd tips in his own miss.
Very quick back to the basket.
We're even at 31. Ball's out of bounds to Nokomis. Both teams, after that last foul now, Cal, are in the bonus in this final 2.5 minutes.
Nokomis is really winded right now. They've really been busting it on the defensive end. I guess all the kids are.
Well, this is it. Season on the line here in the final 2.5 minutes of the state semifinal.
Where's that TV timeout when you need it?
Inbounds pass goes over the near side at Spears and missed the baseline jumper.
I don't know how Coach Kimbrough's team does setting screens, but he's setting a great screen on me because I didn't see anything that happened there.
Well, he doesn't sit down often. He's going to pace back and forth here. Both head coaches are up shouting instructions as we approach the 2-minute mark left here in this fourth quarter. Here's Warrensley. He likes to penetrate. His pull-up 15-footer is missed. And it's Lucas Jacano back on the defensive end. Now Bertolino, who's playing with 4 fouls, lost the dribble. Snaps a pass down low to John Cheek, who's fouled.
Good job of getting the ball inside by Nokomis.
The foul is going to be whistled against Warrensley. That's the 4th foul now on Dominique Warrensley.
Against the gambling defense of Warrensburg Latham, Nokomis is looking down low. They're looking at the basket, and they're really attacking the pressure much better in this quarter.
John Cheek is a 58% foul shooter, but he looked good on that one. And now an opportunity to give his team a 2-point advantage.
Made his average.
It's funny how those things kind of work out that way. Boyd slips a pass down and laid in by Zach Colt.
Good strong basket. Good strong move. But Zach Boyd gave the ball up too. That's the 5th foul on Yeakley.
Yep. C.J. Yeakley just fouled out. He was too aggressive on the pass. He's fouled right at midcourt, and so Yeakley, the junior forward, leaves the game with his 5th foul. And he's going to be replaced here now by Alex Berry, who will re-enter the game.
Both teams need to keep themselves under control and just play basketball.
Well, if this game is to be decided by free throw shooting, Nokomis is a 66% foul shooting team. Warrensburg Latham on the year is 72% as a team.
Most games are decided there when they're close.
And now it's Kimbrough to the free throw line. Running back in football, an outfielder in baseball, and now trying to get his basketball team to a state championship.
Coached by his dad. No pressure on that kid.
We approach the 1-minute mark left here. Here's Butts. Boy, this is what high school basketball is all about, huh? Final minute of a state game. The game hanging on the balance. Here's Boyd. His shot is missed. Back come the Redskins. Up the floor. They get the ball in the hands of Jacano. Redskins going to try and spread the floor. With a basketball and a 1-point lead, and now a foul. And that's on Butts. That's his 4th.
Coach, for that time, Nokomis came down the floor, and they've been attacking the basketball. They did a really good job of backing it back out, having some patience, and getting the foul, knowing they just needed a foul or a free throw or a layup.
Timeout on the floor. We've got a network break coming your way. Nokomis with a 1-point lead with 37 seconds remaining. Take a look at our Chevy Drive of the game. Log on now to ChevyDrivesChicago.com. Check us out today. ChevyDrivesChicago.com. Penetration and layup there for Warrensburg Latham, but we're looking at right now a Nokomis 34-33 advantage. Apple's Bakery Peoria has introduced a new gluten-free line of desserts. Yes, it's true. Check out their website, applesbakery.com. And parents, Apple's also has great college student packages and corporate gifts as well. That's Apple's Bakery Peoria.
After these,
Lee Hall, what do you got for us?
Just real quickly with Steve Kimbrough in the Nokomis huddle. He doesn't want any threes for Warrensburg Latham. He wants his guys to force them into the lane and some help. Back to you.
Right now, Warrensburg Latham, once they get the basketball back, they've got to get the best available shot if they're down 2 or less. If they're not down 2 or less, they've got to have a 3.
And it's Lucas Jacano to the foul line now for the Redskins. A 63% free throw shooter on the season.
No lonelier place than the free throw line after you've missed the first one.
That one won't go down either. Zach Boyd the rebound, and now Warrensburg Latham trailing by a point. A half minute to go.
Don't force anything. Get a good shot. This is your chance. It doesn't need to be the last shot, but it does need to be your best shot.
Pass intended for Zach Boyd was kicked. Alex Beery was trying to catch him with a bounce pass there. 19.2 seconds.
I would imagine
left.
Zach Boyd's going to be drawing a pretty good crowd. I think the theory would be let somebody else beat you.
Ball in the hands of Boyd. Works his way down, hangs, fires, missed it. He missed the shot, and it's cleared out of there. It's a defensive rebound. Nokomis did a good job of denying it.
Got a good look inside. Hung. This ball didn't go in.
And it was Jared Spears that fought everybody else for the defensive backboard.
Nokomis did a really good job, though, of staying in front of the ball, of the dribblers is coming in. Whether it was a foul or not, you'll never know, but I thought Nokomis did a good job of holding their ground.
8.7 seconds remaining. It's a 1-point Nokomis advantage. And to the free throw line goes Jared Spears, a 74% foul shooter.
Plenty of time, no matter what happens at the free throw line, for Warrensburg Latham to have another shot at the basket. Best available three if they make the next one.
Now we've got a timeout for Warrensburg Latham. That's the final timeout for the Cardinals. So Nokomis now with a 2-point lead. Now we're going to have you put your coaching hat back on, Cal. Tell me what you're doing if you're Nokomis here. You got a 2-point lead and you're at the foul line.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let him get the ball. If we got a 3-point lead, I'm going to let him get the ball and I'm going to foul for the kid so they don't have a chance to shoot a three. If it's a 2-point lead, then obviously you aren't going to be doing that. You're going to be trying to slow the ball down, make it as tough a shot as you can.
What about the other huddle? Warrensburg Latham, what are they looking at right now?
Push it hard. They'll probably have two guys on the baseline coming off screens. You can't be concerned with who's going to be shooting the basketball. You got to take your best available shot. If you need a three, you got to have your two best 3-point shooters on the outside.
Well, here's your game reset now. It's a 2-point Nokomis lead, and the Redskins have a pair of 60s left. Right now, Warrensburg Latham with 10 team fouls, certainly in the double bonus, and the possession arrow does favor the Redskins. Now, if you're looking at 3-point shooters, I'll get to that thought in a second. Lee, go ahead.
Well, the message hasn't changed much from Steve Kimbrough. He said, can't allow the wide open three. Don't foul a 3-point shooter. But the first thing he said when he looked into his guy's eyes in the huddle was, the difference is right now we're having fun and they're not. I guess when you're up 2 with 8.7 left, it's a little more fun, guys.
Well, the 3-point shooters to keep your eye on for Warrensburg Latham. Dominique Warnsley is a 33% 3-point shooter, but Zach Boyd is the guy with a 42% 3-point shooting proficiency. So you got to imagine that it's going to be one of those two guys, should it come down to a 3-point shot, is going to be taking it for the Cardinals.
It's going to be whoever's open.
Spears' second free throw is good. It's a 3-point game. Here's Butts in the front court.
Good job of cupping the ball.
Now it's Warnsley. A three from the corner for the tie is no good. And the Nokomis Redskins are playing for a state championship tomorrow.
What a great effort. What a great effort by Nokomis.
Nokomis 36. Warrensburg Latham 33. So in the past 4 hours, we've seen the number 1 ranked team, Lewistown, go down, and the number 2 ranked team in Warrensburg Latham go down. And the state championship game tomorrow will pit St. Anne against Nokomis. And Ashley is standing by with a victorious Steve Kimbrough.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations on the big win.
Kind of been the formula we've used all along. Hit some free throws at the end. We go through a 3 or 4 minute stretch where we can't score, but we seem to be able to find it when we have to.
Well, congratulations and good luck in the big game tomorrow.
Thank you.
Wade, great game. 12 points, 10 rebounds. How's it feel to be going to the championship?
Well, it's pretty good for the way we played. we had an awful lot of turnovers, and I don't even know how we did it. I guess they didn't take advantage of them, and our defense was able to stop them, but we had to, and we just pulled one out.
Well, great job, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Back to you.
All right, Ashley, this team had to wait an extra day to play in the Super Sectional. It will wait one more night to play for a state championship. Nokomis is into the final against the St. Anne Cardinals. 36-33, Nokomis a winner over Warrensburg Latham. Back with more from downtown Peoria after these local messages.